Lee Jenkins has made the jump from Sports Illustrated senior NBA writer to now working for the Clippers. And Lee joins us now to explain the title, Executive Director of Research and Identity. It sounds impressive, Lee. What the heck does it mean?
I don't know if it's going to fit on a business card, Dan.
Yeah.
Look, they're trying to, I think, kind of mine a little bit deeper into who players are and not just what they do. And that kind of dovetails with what I do, what I've done for Sports Illustrated for a long time, which is really kind of ask, who is he, who is he, who is he? And, try to use some different maybe research gathering techniques, like traditional reporting techniques to kind of put together the portrait of players, put that puzzle together. And I'm excited about it. I mean, I don't know exactly how it's going to take shape. There's going to be some trial and error, I'm sure. But these teams, they want to find different people who look at things, who look at problems through different lenses and have different points of view, and hopefully I can bring that to them. Okay.
Explain that a little bit further. Are you approaching, let's say, a draft pick or somebody you might trade for, where you're going to do a personality profile as if you were writing an article in Sports Illustrated? Is that?
I don't know if it'll be. Yeah, that's you're on the right track. I don't know if it's writing an article, but what it would be is sort of finding, if you're putting a profile together of somebody and complementing the information their scouts already have, their analysts already have. So it would be far more of a team effort than what I've done. But yeah, it's kind of using the techniques you would use to put a story together and put kind of the story together of that player behind the scenes and with the people they already have.
Why the Clippers?
I think Steve Ballmer's the only person who would have done this, probably, who would have approached, whose people would have approached me about it. There's an element to them that seems like the inevitable underdog. It's like every year I feel like a team wins, whether it's the Royals or the Red Sox or the Cubs or heck, the Warriors in the NBA, and you say, well, how did that happen? I mean, that's just so crazy that a team that hadn't won in so long just won. And you sort of look back to the beginning, and it usually starts with, well, they had great ownership, right? And they were in a lot of times in an alluring market. That's what the Clippers have right off the bat. Like, they've got the most committed owner probably, and they've got the most appealing market for NBA players. So you put those two things together, there's a head start. And then I was just able to meet so many people in their front office. Lawrence Frank, Michael Winger, Trent Redden, Mark Hughes. All of these people were. So I just got the feeling like this is inevitable. This will happen for them, and this seems like a really good bet.
You've done so many deep dives with LeBron James. Can you kind of get into his head as to why he made this decision that he was going to go to the Lakers?
Are you trying to get me fined already?
Oh, that's right.
I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Oh.
You know what? It's going to be crazy because I've done nothing but talk about players for the last decade. So to me, that comes naturally, right?
Yeah.
So you ask that question, and that's like, no one question, but I don't know. And that's what's going to be so awkward about this is I can't talk about all that stuff.
Wait, is that tampering?
I can talk about what makes the Clippers the greatest destination. I think from my understanding is I probably need to go to tampering 101, Dan. It's going to take a little while. I will for sure get the organization fined.
But you can't talk about previous profiles you've done with LeBron James?
I have no idea. I mean, and look, as it relates to this, like, I did sort of think about him a little bit through this because it's like he makes so many decisions based on sort of, that sounds fun, that sounds different, let's do it. Go with my friends to Miami, win some championships, cool, let's do it. Go back home, create this kind of fairy tale story, do it. Make a movie, create a school I wish I'd gone to. So many things he does. I thought about him a little bit with this decision because I was thinking, what would he think of it? Obviously, I didn't ask him, and I just got the sense that it was an opportunity to sort of keep pushing and learn something new. Because I think in our business, I don't know if you feel like this, I feel like I can kind of get close to truth. I can understand a little bit of how it feels and on deadline night or on draft night, but I can't get all the way there. I can never fully understand what that's like, and I think after this, I will.
But you're also I'm going to guess that there's only so many players you can interview and profile, but how do you think it's going to work? Are you going to be more valuable with the draft for the Clippers or with free agency?
I don't really know how it's going to go. I mean, I know that that there's going to be, I think part of it is I'm going to try to find my place where I can help, where my skills can help the most. And I think part of what I'm learning too is, like in media and in a lot of judges, it's clearly delineated. This is what you're doing. But these organizations are big now, and they're a little bit more corporate. And I think what they want is they want a bunch of people in the room on a lot of different things. There have already been different things that I've been talking about that I never thought would come up, an area that I didn't think that I could help. But they're like, yeah, we want your input on this. We kind of want to, see this from a different side. And so I don't know how predictable the day-to-day is really going to be, but I think I'll have fun kind of learning whatever it is that comes up.
Steve Ballmer, always that enthusiastic?
I haven't been around that much, but the couple of times I have, yeah. I mean, it's definitely. I mean, and really, kind of behind the scenes, I mean, he can go even more. So, and I think what it shows is just, it's like if you take somebody with those resources and you couple it with that enthusiasm and drive, and I think we all sort of know that ownership is everything when it comes to sports, that it inspires a lot of confidence. I mean, he's going to create an environment for players. And I understand the history of it. I understand the lack of tradition, and I understand that's a big piece. It really is. But I still think if you have the owner and you got the market and you start to create an identity for yourself as a great player destination, that some of those things can be overcome, that the lack of history can be overcome.
Good stuff, Lee. We'll be watching. Hopefully you don't get fined for the LeBron James topic here.
I'm sure I will. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
All right. That's Lee Jenkins.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.